Well, it's a nice morning in July, and I just want to talk about parallel society, what comes to mind, what I think about, and the discussions I've had in my community with a parallel society. I've got a couple of notes here, and the parallel society is about creating mutual aid. So for that community that you're in, there will be mutual benefit, mutual assistance and mutual advantages. And it also is about creating a parallel economy. Naturally, creative solutions need to be calculated in this, and that's why it's best if you have a lot of people discussing the parallel society. Now, one example that I was thinking about, I was having a discussion about our health funds. Many of us are in health funds. That's so expensive, many can't afford it. Mine was costing around the 10 grand. It's going to come down to 3,000 in July. So what, as part of the parallel economy, if we've got 100 people, I would do better supporting those people and those people supporting me. So we could develop our own fund. If there was 10 of us on paying 7,000 a year, that would go into that fund. If there's 5 people paying 2,000, 100 paying 4,000 or whatever, they would all be part of the fund. Plus, not only that would they be part of the fund, they would be part of the benefits from the fund. So we could start the parallel society there. So you really only probably need to put what current benefits are in, and whatever you needed would come from that parallel fund, whatever money. Now, because we're a community, some people can't afford to pay for to be part of a fund. So we would link these people in by minimum payments, and anything that the profits in the end, to the interest and that, would go back to that community. It could be in different ways. One could be that the percentage they put in, they would get a percentage of the profit, or even better, because we're talking about creating an alternative, a parallel society and economy. What we could do is take some of that money and buy some land, put a shed on it, and that community goes out there and works and makes sure that the chickens are laying the eggs, that the people would be out there planting, cultivating, and then we'd be sharing that profit, which is the food. So we wouldn't be going to supermarket for our vegetables and eggs, etc. So that's how a parallel economy would work. So we're working out a means that we as a community don't need government in a lot of areas. For example, the health funds are making the money. Well, let us start making the money and create a parallel society. A lot of the people I talk to are elderly, which is a pity, because we need a lot of young minds and a lot of young people helping in a parallel society. Now, people are dying, and a lot of people are putting their money into funds, and many of them have told me that it costs them so much. They could have, it's like insurance, they could have put that money to good use, and it's cost more than what it would be to buy the funeral plots and things like that. So we could create our own insurance in that area as well, in that instead of giving it to the insurance company or to the American-owned funeral parlours, what we can do is create our own. If one of us passes away, then the money would go for their plot. Or what we could be doing as a community is, as we're building the fund, we could be buying plots at the price they are now. That's creating another part of a parallel society. If you have a look at teaching, our kids are taught to hate Australia, to love the left, to love wokeness, to enjoy fighting against Australia Day, Anzac Day. So we've already started it in Tamworth. I didn't start it, it was started by TAP. A lot of people have gone to home schooling because they don't trust the government. But there's a lot of teachers who lost the jab. Now, I would be no good at teaching anyone. So what they've done is, for those families, they can probably pay $5,000 a year for private schooling through the system of your community, your parallel education system. And you can get all the curriculum and things like that. That's all easy to obtain. And you would have specialists, because if those in your community aren't doing the right thing and teaching your children, and you'll be able to monitor it, because you'll be able to come into the system, because a lot of it will be done online at any time, and you'll be better in control of your children, where they'll head in the future, and they'll be better thinkers. It's not about being a hippie in commune or anything like that. It's about a parallel society. So it's easy to do with education, medical, death insurance. There's so many things that we can create a parallel society for. One of the things we do every Sunday, we go to gathering in the Bicentennial Park in Tamworth, where like-minded people hang out, and we do discuss these types of things, and they have their own food. You take your excess food and it goes to the other people, etc., like that. Any excess we could give to the community, because it's about community, it's about loving thy neighbour, it's about getting to know your neighbour more as well. It's about doing things with your neighbour, understanding your neighbour's troubles and they're understanding yours. So you're working together in this parallel system, society. Now, financially, most of the people in this society we're part of here, they use cash. They don't believe in letting the government track us all the time. And like they'll just, you would have seen at the latest WEC, the World Economic Forum, that they're creating a system, Amazon is, that they'll be able, the government and everyone will be able to track how much footage, climate, carbon footage based on the food you eat, where you travel, your location, what you buy, etc. So probably in the future it will be, Paul Janson, you've had enough food for this month, you won't be able to have it for 3 days because it's affecting the carbon footprint. That's a bit wacko, but how do you don't want to be traced, and that. So a lot of people are looking at bitcoins and cryptocurrency. I don't understand enough about it. I'm going to have a closer look. I'm more a cash society type of person. I hope this tells you a little bit of what's going through my mind, and you've got to remember, and those who know me, I'm a bit crazy, but then again so are you. We're all a little bit crazy, and the government's making us more crazy. While we're creating this alternative society, parallel society, we need to be finding young people that we can put into our local council to support us, and we need to really support those people. We need to have put them into the state and into federal. It can be done, and we're looking at plans in the Tamworth area, New England area, how to go about that. But it's hard on your own. You've got to develop a community, because without a community it's impossible for a dual community or a parallel community or alternative community. There's all these names for them. That's why I've been deliberately mixing them in case you hear them. With the Great Reset, I'm rejecting it, as you can see, and I hope you do too. This is part of rejecting the Great Reset. However, it is resetting our community into a parallel system. So if the other one, the bank says you can't have any money, our community won't have those issues. If you can't get food from because of shortage, you will be part of getting the food, and we've already bought some land that's got all our food growing on it, and we might even have to go a little bit further in that. Can you start it easier than buying something? Yeah, in the country people have got big backyards and big sheds, so you could work with them to develop their backyard into a market, and you'd be able to go and sell the excess that you don't give to the homeless in the community. The government doesn't care about the homeless. They're giving it all over to Ukraine and everywhere else. So you can start small like that. We'd also look at, on that property, putting a shed where we can have our own media. The parallel media, which is a non-mainstream media, that is already part of our parallel society. So we would want to have our own media room where people can come and have discussions instead of just looking at silos and hearing noises in the background. So we would develop those things in each parallel community. I may be crazy, but I've asked a few people that I trusted to just let me think, tell me how crazy I am. You'll see I've put on a number of sites about the parallel economy, because I think it will, well, I know it will work, because it is working. So again, I'd like to thank you for putting up with me and listening to this, and I hope you will comment.